Hi everybody, and welcome to Universal Soul Vibrations. I am going to be doing messages for water signs for the supermoon that's coming, at least in the United States on the East Coast tomorrow evening. That's in Virgo. I have had some Virgos in my life, and what I found with the Virgo individuals, they're very analytical, they're thinkers, they gotta think and mull everything over. Not very emotional. They they try to hide their emotions because they're too busy analyzing everything. They are perfectionists, so they can be very critical to others and to themselves because nothing is ever quite right because they want everything to be perfect. And they like order around them and things being organized. So that's the energy that's being brought in with this super moon tomorrow evening. So I'm going to do some messages for water signs. You know, what they need to be releasing, receiving, retaining, what the lesson is during this full moon, super moon cycle for water signs. And I'll be using the Queen of the Moon Oracle deck, which I'm not extremely familiar with, so I'll give you the messages that I'm getting. I had started this earlier, and this card came up in this position, and it didn't make sense, so I started over again, and it's up here again. So you got patience in something that you need to release, water signs. What does water signs need to retain during the supermoon in Virgo tomorrow evening? You need to retain discernment. What will water signs be receiving? What's coming in for water signs during this full moon and Virgo cycle? What's coming in for water signs? Trust is coming in for water signs. What is surrounding water signs? Their surroundings is affecting your life. The masculine is surrounding you. What should you be giving? What should water signs? And water signs is Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. What should water signs be giving? So, I'm looking at that top card, and this is what you should be letting go of. And the patience card is up there, and that kind of baffled me a bit because that seems like it should be something that you should be holding on to. I'm almost thinking those two cards, discernment and patience, should be reversed. I mean, I'll leave them in there to see how it fits in. What should water signs be giving? They should surrender. That's what they should be giving. What new thing is coming in for water signs during the full moon, super moon, and Virgo? The void is coming in. I just read about the void. It's quite an interesting card, actually. And what is the lesson that water signs are to learn during this super moon in Virgo? What are the lessons that water signs? Fruition. Okay. Let me just get all the cards in the frame. Still can't quite get the cards to line up so they can all be seen. Sorry about that. Excuse me, I need a drink. Okay, let's get started. So, in the placement of what water signs are supposed to be letting go of during this supermoon in Virgo. It came up with the card of patience. What kind of, like I said earlier, it kind of perplexed me, because why would you want to let go of patience? But when I look at this patience card, you know, I see the girl standing there with her balloon. She doesn't want to release it yet, and she's looking out into the universe. You know, looking through that wormhole, it almost looks like to me, looking at the stars and wondering, I'm thinking, water signs, that it's not so much patience that you need to release. This one really is perplexing me, this patience in the releasing part. She's waiting. She's waiting for something to happen. I'm gonna look in the book for this one, because I really think the discernment card should be up there. So the patience card. The affirmation that comes with this is, I take my time to enjoy the journey. Yeah, I'm gonna switch these two around, because this really doesn't, I don't think it belongs there. I think it belongs in what you need to hold on to. All right, let's start over again. So in the place of what you need to release is, you need to release discernment, okay? She's kind of up in the clouds. You know, she's holding a lot of energy in between her two hands. But it seems to me like she's not quite sure what to do with it. The intention that comes with the discernment card is, I take my time to be accurate and precise in my discernment. So it's saying, take care in your choices now. Look carefully and judge wisely. There may have been something difficult to see, something that has been obscured, but now it has been revealed to you. Examine it closely. Okay, so this makes more sense in the releasing and letting go of. I you know, it's fine to, you know, look at a choice that you made and try to see, to observe it and examine it closely. But to me, this discernment card is in the letting go, because I feel like you're kind of stuck. You're stuck up in the clouds. You just don't know, water signs, which way you want to go. You know, some things have been revealed to you. You know, she's holding that big ball of energy. She's got the universe in her hands, but she just doesn't know what to do with it, because she just keeps examining it and examining it and examining it to death, basically. So it's time to release that. And it's great to take your time, but sometimes we get stuck in that place and we never move on from it. So I think it's time for you to move on from that stage of overanalyzing and that part of discernment. You know, the discernment talks about kind of really looking at the fine print of something, but I think you just really are over-examining something way too much, and it's time to break out of that. In the second position, what we need to hold close, that's where I think the patience card belonged, and she's kind of just waiting. She's looking. She's moved on from the over-analyzing part, and now she's kind of just waiting for stuff to come in. Patience is a virtue, we all say, right? You've discerned that you want something, but you got stuck in that overanalyze, almost the analysis paralysis state, and now it's time to wait. And it, you know, this, like the discernment card, it does say I take my time to enjoy the journey, and that's, you know, the difference in this patience card from the discernment card. The patience card is asking you to enjoy the journey, not just the destination. The time has come to learn patience and avoid the lure of instant gratification. Slow down, take your time. Things are happening, you just can't see it yet. Be loving and patient with your body, okay? Um, you know, things are going on in the universe around you. You can't see everything, but it is out there, okay? And just enjoy your journey of life. Don't overanalyze everything. Um, and enjoy what the universe is sending you and the path that it's sending you down, okay? What you're going to be receiving from this supermoon in Virgo is trust, okay? I mean, this is, you know, you got the duckies here with the nest. One is kind of, you know, protecting it. Not quite sure, not trusting, but it's asking you to gain trust. And if you look at this card too, it looks like there's a person inside this bubble, okay? So what that's telling me is you haven't been too trusting of the outside world, and now it's time. It is the beginning, and I trust myself, and you trust yourself in all things. Trust yourself, develop self-trust, and joy will follow. You can rely on your own capabilities, begin to plan carefully for the future. Okay, so this card is, you know, you're going to be receiving the ability to trust yourself. Self-trust is far more than a flashy show of confidence. It's deeper and farther reaching than that. It's the security at the core. That's no matter what, your wisdom matters, and it's the best. It's also trusting, you know, trusting your instinct, intuition, and where it's telling you to head. That's what's going to be coming in for you, is just trusting yourself in the direction that you're going in, and what your intuition is telling you. And what's surrounding you and how the world, how what's around you in the world is affecting your life. You got the masculine card for the water signs. And the man in this card, he looks very strong. To me, it looks like he's divinely protected as well. He's, you know, holding up all the moon cycles there pretty strongly. So, you know, the masculine is what's affecting your life in the daily life. But it's, you know, it's not always good to just be stuck in that masculine energy. We all have masculine and feminine energy, and we need to know how to balance both. That's my message for that. The intention that comes with the masculine card is, may the positive attributes of the masculine align with me. It's time to step forward and lead. Be the leader in your own life. You have more power than you think. It is time to formally learn more. Enroll in a course or learn a new skill. Offer your protection to someone weaker than yourself. Take steps to improve your health and vitality, okay? So it's asking you to step up into your power and your uniqueness, and offer your guidance to those who may need it. And that's kind of what's affecting your life. Maybe you're in need of guidance from someone. Maybe someone needs to step up and help you, you know. But the positive attributes of the masculine are strength. Like I said, he looks very strong. Physical vitality, power of will, shielding and protection of the weak, are, you know, the traits of the masculine. So what's surrounding you is in affecting your life is, I think you're almost looking for this strength and power, and how you can step into your own power. And what I'm going to say is the card below that, that's the giving card, what you're to give to others. But you can do that by surrendering to the universe and trusting that the universe is going to give you what you need, okay? So in the next spot, we have the surrender card, which is the giving card. It's what you should be giving to others. And we have surrendering. Okay, so when we do surrender, it makes us a bit vulnerable. And I think this card is asking us to be vulnerable because, you know, you have the trust card here too. And when we trust others, it makes us vulnerable. So this card is asking you, you know, to show your vulnerability to others. It's okay to do that, water signs. The affirmation that comes with this is I let go, I surrender my struggle, I allow the universe to work through me, okay? And like I said earlier, it's about trusting the universe and the path that you're being put on. Surrendering doesn't mean giving up, okay? A lot of people think, oh, he surrendered, he gave up. It's not giving up. It's letting go of what you no longer need and stop being, you know, don't be stubborn about holding on to aspects and behaviors that don't align with who you are, okay? With this card, there is something to remember, that this moon phase is dark and beautiful. It casts a protective shadow that allows us to be as wide open as we need to be to do our work. We reveal safely to only divine in ourselves, and then the light returns. Okay, so this card is also, you know, I really think because it's in the giving part, is you need to let people in, water signs. And like I said, it does expose us to vulnerability by doing that. But you got to show that in order to, you know, surrender. And I'm not saying give yourself to others, but allow people to see that vulnerable side of you. Now the void card. Here is the void card, and this is the dark moon. And the void is a very interesting place. And this is the beginning, something new that will begin soon. So the void card, if you see, there's a woman laying down. I don't know if you can see with the reflection of the light, sorry. She's laying down in the darkness. So the void card is, you know, it's time, what's coming in is some rest for you, and releasing. The affirmation that comes with the void card is I freely release what I no longer need. So when you're in the void, this is the time that you release the things that no longer serve you. Your time to rest and reset. It's a time to reset is here. Release all that does not serve you. Stop resisting, okay? So the new thing that's going to come in is you're gonna stop resisting this this reset that's coming in for you. The void is a time of possibility, not just darkness, okay? I know this card looks very dark, but it's not. It's when possibilities are endless because we're willing to take that time to kind of sit down and look inside ourselves. It's like the Hermit card in the traditional deck, and see what needs to go and what needs to stay. And sometimes we fear looking at that the inner soul, I want to say, but there's nothing to fear of letting go of the old, okay? So this is what's coming in for you. The new thing that's coming in for you is you're going to learn how to do this. You got to make room for what's coming in, okay? And your lesson, what you should be learning, is the fruition, the harvest moon, okay? So your lesson is that you need to learn how to grow the abundance in your life. There's lots of abundance here with her. She's got all that fruit and yummy stuff on top of her head, but also to share that wealth with others, okay? bringing in the abundance so that you can share with others around you is a big message of this card. But bringing things, fruition means taking something and bringing it into reality to me. The intention that comes with this is I welcome the joyous fruition of all the intentions I set. So if you set some intentions on the new moon, they're now going, the fruition, they're coming to light. As the seasons turn, there is always a time when all the potential of the spring beginnings is manifest. The crops grow tall and are ready to harvest, and they have done this from a fallow field into which we have planted seeds. So there's been a seed planted, okay? And growth is coming from that. The trees have flowered, and now there is fruit to pick. It is time for the harvest. So when we're able to bring something into fruition, whether it's by planting a project or a change in ourselves, it's the perfect time to celebrate all that we are grateful for and to mark our achievement. We may have worked very hard to bring this new situation into reality. We have been patient in the way we have worked over time and sacrificed much to make it happen. But you want to share that too. The harvest moon is the time to be happy about our successes and to share it with others. Okay? So, you're going to go through this period of time where you're going to move out of this stagnant phase that you've kind of been in, water signs, of being stuck in this analysis paralysis kind of state. You're going to move into the time of waiting on what the universe is going to bring in and trusting yourself and trusting your intuition and trusting that, what's coming in for you is what is supposed to be there at that time. But, in order to do that, you've got to make yourself a bit vulnerable, okay? You can't be this, strong man up here, the masculine dude. You gotta allow women, the feminine side has more of the vulnerability. You got to allow some of that feminine side to come through. But it's necessary for you to kind of take a rest and a step back and go into that void inside you and say, what is to my highest good, basically. And then, your dreams are going to come to fruition if you do all this. Let me just pull some sultry cards with the cards that came out. Why is discernment here? As I'm going to release. Why is discernment here? Is what's needed to be released. Okay, so you need to believe because you've been stuck in that analysis paralysis. So that kind of tells me that you don't believe that what you desire can come into fruition, okay? So it's time to believe that your dreams and what you want in life is there for you. You just have to believe that it can happen and stop trying to convince yourself and overanalyzing, what if, just go. Be the fool. And the patience is going to send you on an adventure, okay? By waiting patiently to see what the universe is going to bring in for you, it's going to bring you on a new adventure. Why is trust here? Because trust gives you strength in trusting yourself and trusting your own intuition and trusting that the universe is going to put you where you need to be and bring you what you want. That gives you strength throughout your journey, this full moon cycle. That is the masculine here. Okay, the masculine is here for guidance, okay? To remind you to be strong within yourself. And use that strength. We've got strength down here too to guide you. And surrender. I love teach with surrender. That's like kind of awesome because By showing your vulnerabilities, you are going to teach others as well as yourself. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, I think, by opening yourself and surrendering yourself to the universe, and showing others around you those vulnerabilities. Why is the void here? Why is the void here? And we got like 3 cards, so I'm not going to take all 3. I just want one. Please give me one card as to why is the void here. Because the void, by going inside yourself and taking this time of rest and looking at the deep part inside your soul, it's going to create a new beginning for you. A new beginning that's going to be, where your dreams and your wishes are going to come into fruition. And we got energy over fruition. There's energy all around us. But it depends on what type of energy you put into and put it out there, okay? There's negative energy and there's positive energy. If what you're putting out there is not so good energy, that's what's going to come to fruition, okay? So we need to be careful, water signs, about what type of energy you're putting out, because what you put out is what comes back. I'm going to pull one card from the Queen of the Moon deck for each sign within the water signs. First, we'll pull one for Cancer. What is Cancer's message for this supermoon in Virgo? What is Cancer's message for this supermoon in Virgo? Cancer's message is faith, and what a beautiful card this is. The woman, she's just kind of laying out in nature. She's kind of got the earth growing, and it looks like she's pregnant with the earth. And she's looking up at, she's not looking because she has her eyes closed, but she's got her head towards the sky, saying, faith is to me, I believe that I deserve this. I believe that I deserve the good things in life. So let me look in the book and see what it says. And, the intention that comes with the faith card is, I know all will be well. So Cancer, you just need to know that everything's going to turn out okay. Faith is about fertility and abundance are going to return to you. That's what your message is for this supermoon in Virgo. That things are going to get better and that growth will be started. And to hold on to your dreams in adversity, okay? When adversity comes, don't allow that to dash your dreams. And I like the next message that comes with this. It is in the darkest times that we find it hard to see the light. Okay, so you may have been going through some dark times, and it's so hard to see the light when we're going through struggles in life. It is hard to see when things seem hopeless, how we can ever feel hope again. When things seem to fail, it is really difficult to draw up our resilience and stand up again. We learn by observing the seasons that the light does return. The bareness of winter turns infinitely and surely into spring. The ice melts, the days grow longer, and the night grows shorter. Warmth and fertility slowly return to the land. It is hard to have faith in ourselves and the universe. And in parentheses it says, I actually think faith is the real F word. Faith requires us to let go of our anxieties and have trust in the universe. I talked about that with the surrender card. Perhaps in something we can't actually see yet. Having a more complete faith in yourself and a higher power to lead you to your greatest good is a solid intention, while having a rigid, blind faith does not serve us. Okay? So we have to be open with our faith, and not put boundaries around it, I guess is what I want to say with that. And it's very important to hold on to our dreams. To do this without taking note what is happening around us can be folly. Our ancestors would observe nature carefully, looking for the signs of new life and fertility, altering their hunting or planting to best take advantage. Yet they knew that the ice would melt and the soil, damp and ready, teeming with worms, would receive their seeds, okay? So, just have faith that things are going to get better because they are. That's what this card is saying. And just know that at some point things will be well. This card, talks about the spring coming, and spring is coming soon. So that may be when things get much better for you, Cancers. Let me just pull one sultry card to go with this. Faith and assurance. I mean, assurance is kind of the same. You have faith. Assurance is the knowing that, things will get better, okay? Cancer. Who do we got next? Pisces. Let's pull one card for Pisces. And actually tomorrow with the full moon, we begin the Pisces season. So with Virgo and Pisces, we got some real different types of personalities there. Acceptance is there for Pisces, okay? The first thing I saw when I looked at this card, the two hands reaching out to each other, but to me, acceptance, I had a thought in my head and I forgot what it was. I'm so sorry. But, just accepting things as they are is what I guess I heard from this. And learning the lessons, accepting the lessons that you've learned along the way and how they can make you grow. The affirmation for the acceptance card is I accept where I am and who I am right now. Well, that's basically what I said. Acceptance of the current situation is the first step to change. The past does not exist, the future hasn't happened, and there is only right now. So this card is telling you to remain in the present, okay? When we examine our lives and engage in some truth-telling, we are often confronted with what really is. The realization is powerful, but often we reject this truth if it is too hard to bear or we are afraid of accepting something so difficult. Each of us at some time has dodged our blind spots and then had the illumination of what actually is eventually confront us. Yeah, the truth is always going to be revealed, guys, so don't try to live in a place where it's not the truth. What we do next is crucial. Do we accept exactly where we are, no matter how painful or confronting, or do we retreat back into our illusions and remain stuck or unchanging? Choosing to accept ourselves fully and the position we are in enables us to take the next step towards growth. When we can plant our feet solidly into the earth and say, yes, here's exactly where I am, and I accept this fully, then we can take the next steps confidently, honestly, and powerfully towards where we now wish to head. Wow, this is a pretty powerful card that you got here, Pisces. Accepting where we are right now. Something tells me that you Pisces people have a hard time with that, though. Accepting where we are right now in its fullness allows us to also accept that there may be some chaos in our change before there is full order again. This can be an exciting feeling rather than one that generates fear if we hold our new intentions closely. Okay, so don't let the idea of change cause fear within you. Lots of times I've talked about this in the earth signs, and earth signs are fixed signs, so they hate change. Change can bring in some awesome things, okay? Let me just pull one sultry cards for the acceptance card for the Pisces, folks. Yeah, Pisces, it's telling you to live in the here and the now and accept what's going on and not try to live in an illusion. And get yourself grounded, okay? You got the first chakra with this. It's time to get yourself grounded in reality, okay? That's what Pisces needs to do. And we got Scorpio. Oh, Scorpio, the stinger. Okay, let's see what Scorpio's got. Please give me one card for Scorpio. What is the message for Scorpio during the supermoon in Virgo? I don't know why I have so much energy tonight. Must be that supermoon. Will is what you got, Scorpio. Okay, so the will card. And it's not, will this happen? Will that happen? No, that's not what it is. It's about having the will to do something, having the will to move ahead. Having the will to accept change. And I just opened the book after I said that, and the affirmation that goes with this card is, I have the will to make the changes I need. So this card is saying that, you know, you need to make some changes, and you have the ability to do that. Decisions require action. You are in control of your own decisions in life, no one else's. Passion and will determine a great proportion of your success. You will persist. You possess free will, which means you should focus on yourself first and avoid placing your will over another's. Will feels like a very old-fashioned concept in a modern world where it seems like everything is geared up to be as easy as possible, or there is always someone else to blame. The idea of placing our personal will persistently into something seems quaint. When we decide we are going to change something in our lives, let's say a particularly negative pattern or bad habit, breaking the old way we do things can be difficult. The change requires a concentration of our will. We may want to change, but it is our will that insists we stay on the path to that change. To be willful means we have the power of control. I wouldn't doubt if persistence doesn't fall out of the soul trace of our control over our own actions, and that will fire up the persistence we need to get what we want. So, you know, they're telling you, Scorpio, that you do have the power and control over your own actions, and you need to recognize that. Contrary to popular belief, in witchcraft traditions, practitioners do not interfere with another's free will, and neither do readings. You all have the free will. You know, there's always free will involved with readings. We're just given the messages that are coming out, but you have the free will to do something different, okay? This means we do not cast spells upon people to influence their behavior. How do we get what we want instead? We cast on ourselves in line with our will, focusing carefully on what we would like in our lives instead. For example, instead of casting a spell to get back our ex-boyfriend who doesn't want us by influencing his will to love us again, we more ethically cast upon ourselves for our ideal partner. This way we don't interfere with his free will, and if the ex is our ideal partner, he will return to us freely. If not, we have attracted someone new and better for us. Either way, win-win. To use our will productively, we should assess what we really want and make sure this is what we want to reach for, okay? So, you know, you have the will to make changes in your life, and you need to recognize that you have that. There's obviously some type of change that needs to occur, and I'm not sure if you're fighting it or not. But just know that, you know, we talk about willpower. You know, anytime anybody's trying to give something up, they have the willpower to do this. They have the will, you know. It's all about the will to achieve a certain goal. You know what I'm saying? Please give me one card with the will card for Pisces. And balance, okay? So you need to keep yourself balanced through this process of moving into change, so that you can continue to have the willpower to move ahead with this change, Scorpio. Have a great night, everyone.